My friends, welcome. Archangel at your service once again. Males, they know that they are devalued and disposable servants, and the proof is all in their head. Dreams. When I was a kid, I enjoyed dreaming. I remember being fond of falling asleep and dreaming. Fast forward to today, it seems like my dreams are no longer a refuge from male devaluation. My escapes from reality into the dream states via sleep, well, that has been compromised right along with waking reality. It used to be when I was younger and very naive to male-female value capacities and relations. I would have wonderfully amazing dreams where I was truly desired and loved and cared about. I was the hero, the ultimate everything. And why not? After all, it's your dream. You should be the center of it and be the winner all the time, right? Even if you are a devalued slave in the diurnal hours, you should at least be a superhero in the unconscious nocturnal realm. Well, this has not been the case for many years. For it seems that I cannot shut out the gynocentric filth that has invaded my mind while in the conscious awakened state. You see, all the devaluation, all the propaganda, all the brainwashing and indoctrination of a gynocentric male-disposing existence, all of this crap still remains entrenched in my memory banks. And though I recognize this programming and disable it, it still remains in stasis, like a latent virus, just waiting for an opportunity to return with a vengeance. And, well, the only time my devaluation defenses are down is when I'm unconscious, when I am sleeping. I have to live this crap. I don't want to dream about it as well. Sleep is supposed to be my time, my escape. But no. So, yeah, this is the cruelty of existence. Males, by virtue of the fact that they lack a uterus and mammaries, they are devalued and made to be expendable in order to support society. Hence, males have been handicapped and disadvantaged for existing. And even when we go to sleep, we are made to relive our devaluation in dreamtime scenarios, compelled to further experience our expendability over and over again in odd dream landscapes, night after night. There is no respite, no retreat from expendable servitude, which is the ultimate result of gynocentrism. It champions male devaluation and male disposability, which directly incites males as lesser value fodder to keep the world afloat. There seems to be no justice for males from disposability in this world, nor in any state of consciousness within this world. If someone deserved justice, if someone deserves to lose their crap and blow the hell up, it is males. And some do. Why do you think so many criminals and murderers are males? This is them losing their marbles after being mistreated since birth. Now, I don't condone males trespassing anyone, no matter how stressed they are. However, the fact that all males are maligned and mistreated from the cradle, and the fact that 90% of the male population are good and fair and non-violent, this is testament to male goodness and caring. We don't want to hurt others. We are compassionate and we rise above. Anyhow, the point is, males are damned no matter what state of consciousness they are in. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe other males get awesome dreams. But even if males get wonderful, sparkly, gold, romance-filled king of the world dreams every night, where they get everything they want, still, at a moment's notice, whether from a full bladder or from the alarm clock, they will be awakened to a reality where they have a job to go to, greedy mouths to feed, and a place where they exist to toil away for others. A realm where males forfeit personal value in order to appease a thirsty world that only thrives off of male sacrifice and death. Now, my dreams are so chaotic, I do not even try to remember them. I used to love dreaming, being seduced into a warm slumber when I got into bed, then luxuriating in the details of a soft, beautiful dream the next morning. Now, I simply see sleeping as an 8 to 10, sometimes 12-hour period of horizontal existence that sequentially upholds continuity of time, connecting the night and morning portions of my expendable, devalued shovel existence. I have no fondness for dreaming and sleeping anymore. It is simply a period of maintenance and repair that the bodily tissues require. And as many find out, sleep is not an escape from turmoil. as we are faced to watch life's ugliness play out on a screen in our heads as our body rests and recuperates. This is tragedy, because we have to endure torment during the day, then we gotta relive it at night. I mean, really, what the hell kind of jacked up existence is this? Okay, so, ugly chaotic dreams. Well, for example, I just woke from having a dream last night, where guys were cannon fodder on some reality game show. Guys would come on this crazy show with its neon and sparkling lights everywhere and an artificially bright, happy atmosphere, kind of like a casino. They were there to perform some task that would not be revealed to them until it was their turn. But before the show even started, these male contestants would be wined and dined with all kinds of females and flatteries and food before the show in some offstage ballroom where each new wave of guests were entertained. Then when showtime hit, each contestant took a turn and they had to accomplish some unknown task. If they could not pass this test, they would have to forfeit something. They did not know what that was, and the viewers watching were never informed of the penalty either. Their excitement was simply built up for the next contestant and the next challenge. So then I watched a contestant take his turn, and I came to learn that this guy's challenge was to get some outrageous loan from some bank. And in the event that he failed to secure this loan, he would lose the challenge. And then somehow I found myself backstage, and I found out what the penalty was. I became frantic, and I started fighting back, because he was unable to secure the loan. He failed the challenge. He was drugged, and then he would awaken to find himself tied down and restrained to a cold surgical table, with all these females surrounding him, and a couple of doctors prepping knives on the table next to him. Then, all the same escort-looking females that had wined him and dined him before the show, they would giggle as they told him that they would cut off his penis and then celebrate this by making a big dinner out of the whole affair. Now, yeah, being some nondescript observer in the dream, I railed to get him free. I mean, I grabbed hammers and clubs and hit these females celebrating this occasion. I mean, I overturned the tables that contained the scalpels. I beat down the doctors that were gleefully preparing for the awakening of this unsuspecting contestant. I tried to free him, to fetch help from other males lined up outside the building waiting in lines for their turn. I tried to fetch upcoming contestants who were lounging in the green room before the show, being wined and dined by attractive females before facing their challenge. But these males were oblivious and simply laughed it off, as they were too busy being intoxicated with hedonistic flatteries and pleasures to even hear me. So I reappeared in the dungeons and tried to bludgeon the joyful doctors and the females, everybody who was gathered to mutilate this restrained man who had failed some silly-ass test and would soon be awakening from his drugged state. He was not yet awake, and I was fighting to free him before he was awake, because these vultures, they waited until a male was awake to inform him of the penalty, just so they could enjoy the fear, the begging, the terror in the poor male's eyes. It was hideous how they did this, and I just came unglued. I would seriously take crowbars, pots and pans, and even pallets, and smash them against these laughing doctors and these female participants. But they were made of indestructible titanium. Nothing I did affected them in the slightest. They just kept going about their business of gleefully chatting as they prepared scalpels to cut off his anatomy, while in the next room, the same hot chicks that had wined and dined this guy before he went on to fail his challenge, these same hooker witches were now happily preparing food in the next room for the celebratory feast, and all were super duper excited to see his face when he awoke and realized what they intended to remove, and they were all eagerly awaiting when he would stir from his anesthesia. I was frantic to save him. I was livid that I could not stop anyone. I was most especially furious that other males did not care or help me. The few doctors happily prepared, and the future contestants were standing around distracted by the pretty girls, without a care in the world. Nobody noticed this hapless male that I was trying to free. It was a weird, dark, surreal version of some game show where on the one side of the curtain, the public side, you saw males being flanked by pretty women and lights, and they were the temporary center of attention where there was excitement, thrills, and viewer anticipation. Then, on the other side of the curtain, it was a carnage circus. Dark, dank rooms that reeked of malice, like experimentation rooms of insane asylums. It was a dungeon of mockery, where failed males were sliced up by malevolent hags, and then a feast was made celebrating the removed organs. And it was here that I realized what was really going on. It was all about the females whining, dining, and flattering each other, laughing and giggling as a few crooked doctors served these females and enabled them by carving up the males. Oh, it was horrid. Mercifully, I managed to wake myself before the conclusion of this eunuch nightmare. I seemed to sense that in this dream, the males always failed. They never passed the test. Moreover, this is not the first time I've had to endure dreams about male anatomy removal. Now, lots of analogy going on here. I think it is most likely merely a reflection of male utility in life. We build up males to go out and provide for women and society. Then we slice them apart when they fail, or we celebrate when we have what we want from them. The genital removal theme may also represent the emasculation of males to that of soft-bellied subservient butlers to females and feminine whims. It may also be commentary on how I desperately fight to awaken a gynocentric world by hitting them with truths. Yet they are oblivious to me as they are wined and dined in the green room by pretty chicks. Or it may be me expressing my rage over the demons of gynocentrism, who await to chop up and feast upon the dismembered male when he awakens from his anesthesia after failing his challenge. Much like any old regular blue pill male gets all excited and takes on some challenge, a wife, for example, then fails his challenge, fails to satisfy her or quell her gynocentrism, then he finds his life and finances being sliced up in divorce and family court. So he took on a challenge, failed, and then awakens from intoxication to a cruel reality as he has things removed from him. But then, thanks to gynocentrism and hypergamy, males were always meant to fail, much like the contestants in the dream, who were never meant to win. I mean, this dream was rich with multitudinous symbology. But the point is, I try to incite rebellion in my waking reality. Then I get to relive my revolution failure in my dreaming reality. How sweet, huh? I find that since my awakening, my dreams have been blatant chaos. They are not refuge where I could pretend love and romance between opposing sexes. They have not proved to be some etheric place to imagine the true desirous, unconditional touch of a lover. They are very much different. Yet I now realize that I have had dreams of discord between the sexes even when I was blue and purple pill. So maybe I was registering the gynocentrism subconsciously, and what we term awakening is merely the act of bringing male devaluation and gynocentrism into focus of the conscious mind. You know, it seems to be consensus that dreams are merely reflections of your beliefs, understandings, or simply nonsensical hodgepodge conglomerations of images or sounds or scenes from your life that are being randomly recycled in order to vent mental or emotional pressure to spare an individual's sanity. I used to have dreams about romance or flying or space. Now I have dreams of revolution, of trying to stop injustice but being ineffectual. In hindsight contemplation, I see that I have always had one predominant theme in my dreams, one dominant premise of all my dreams since puberty, one common thread tying all my nocturnal movies together. That is, female treachery. Yes, I was dreaming of female disappointment and disillusionment long before my formal awakening to gynocentrism, to male devaluation and disposability. The details varied, but the theme was the same. I would be in any number of countless dreams where I was searching for or had found a female, and everything was fine until she would turn on me somehow. The theme was that I never got the girl in the end. Something always happened, whether by her hand or by the circumstances of the dream scenario. They always seemed to end the same: rejection, abandonment, love denied, and unrequited love. In a few, I might enjoy females or romance for a second, but by the end of the dream, I was always betrayed or denied, and there was always drama and chaos, not peaceful, serene scenes or scenarios. Now this brings me to the relevance and how males know, on some level, that they are devalued and disposed of. So, our senses take in thousands of bits of information every nanosecond. Yet, our minds filter roughly 100 bits to pay attention to, and then send maybe a dozen or so to the attention of our conscious mind in any given second. We essentially have filters based upon our personal priorities and beliefs, and thus stimuli that fits our priorities gets attention, while the remaining hundreds or thousands of other bits of information simply get dismissed and funneled to the subconscious. This is why we say everybody has a filter, and everybody sees the world through their filter, meaning people observe life through their own collection of preconceived notions and beliefs. Yet we all register everything that goes on around us, even if we don't consciously realize it. The brain has to prioritize data bits, otherwise we would be overloaded with input every second of every day. We need to prioritize seeing traffic as we cross the street rather than notice the people chatting on the corner, or the pulse in your right temple, or the cawing of a crow a block away. Now, I say that to say this. I know males, no matter how brainwashed they all take in the epidemic male devaluation and male disposability of the world that surrounds them in the form of raw data bits that enter their brain via one of the senses. Yet, due to their priorities, their filter, or beliefs, only the data that matches their opinions will make it to the conscious mind for inspection. And since most males believe in female benevolence and virtue, most males believe females to be more valuable and caring, while simultaneously dismissing males as crude and violent. And since most of these same males believe that they must find a female to give them worth and validation in life, thus their minds filter out the stimuli that matches their beliefs, and they only see females as angels, and all the informational bits that are contradictory or reveal females as malevolent parasitic demons. This data is stamped unprocessed and sent directly to the storage depot in the subconscious. And so, males take an interaction with a female, whether a lover, a mother, a coworker, and their filter sorts the data of every encounter. They register her pretty face, or the melody of her voice, or her smile, yet their filter vetoes the contempt on her face, or the mockery of her voice, or the sneer in her smile, because these bits of data do not match his existing notion of females as superior angels. And so this contradictory raw data is filed away and unprocessed, thus keeping his beliefs in female exaltation intact. Even when a contradictory piece of information is brought to the attention of the conscious mind, justification tactics, courtesy of our societal brainwashing, are enacted to twist the negative input so that it will match his positive opinions. So even when a chick calls a guy names or smacks and hits him, his conscious awareness dismisses it. Oh, you deserved it, or this shows that she cares, etc. This is how males will filter contradictory informational bits to match their preconceived beliefs and paradigms. Even so, males are taking in the evidence of gynocentrism, hypergamy, female elevation, male devaluation, and male disposability in the form of raw sensory data every second of every day, whether they know it or not. Every male is receiving the input of their mistreatment. Yet the brainwashing and mind control placed upon males effectively filters out the negativity, and then mothballs this data so that it never reaches the conscious mind to challenge programmed beliefs. Yet, in some males, a tipping point is reached, where the subconscious storage files of female malice come rushing to the surface, and that is when you have an awakening, either partial or full. That is when you truly realize you have been witnessing this devaluation and servitude of males for nearly your entire adult life. And why the hell did you not realize all this crap sooner? When you begin to awaken, you are beginning to access the contradictory, negative input and informational data that has always been vetoed right to your subconscious mind, never to be inspected by your conscious mind. And the awakened inevitably question themselves as to why they did not realize this stuff sooner. Well, that's why they call it the Matrix. You're supposed to see and do as instructed, not realize the prison that surrounds you. Duh! Moreover, I think our mind does try to process and reconcile all the subconscious data stored. And this is done in our dreams. In our waking reality, our filters, which are programmed beliefs and opinions, these strain out input that agrees with and bolsters our conscious beliefs of culture or religion or female supremacy. Yet all the loads of contradictory input that disputes your religion or society or decries female salvation, this unwelcomed input is vetoed and buried right along with unpleasant memories and all the other sensory informational bits that you didn't even know you were receiving. Really, the bottom line is this. Males have gynocentric male devaluing databases inside their heads, and they most likely reconcile the juxtaposition of the male devaluing subconscious unprocessed data input versus the conscious female worship belief structure through dreams and the unconscious states. So, looking back, I really think my subconscious was trying to tell me of gynocentric reality and feed this to me in my dreams. I think the themes and chaos surrounding females and romantic interaction that has always been so prevalent in my dreams since I can remember was simply my mind reconciling the evidence of male devaluation with the happy rainbow sprinkles of gynocentrism that were filtered for inspection by my conscious mind during waking reality. Which really makes sense, since my conscious persona, or ego, was not ready to recognize female selfishness and malice, because my ego derived identity, it derived its very existence from female interaction. Thus, my mind clashed these dichotomous paradigms as I slept. Now, I find my dreams to be quite different. I no longer search for love. Now, I have females that chase me, and I run from them. Indeed, there is a completely different side to dreaming and astral travel and being able to lucid dream and interact with and control your dreams. Yet, when your dreams are akin to watching a movie where you are simply viewing and not in control, this is either interference by parasitic other dimensional entities, or it is your brain that has prepared and is playing the film. And most likely, it is your mind trying to make sense of and reconcile all the bits of information your senses took in that day, that week, that year, that life. So, the bottom line is this. Males know that they are devalued. Somewhere on some level, they know. And all the evidence is right upstairs in their noggin. And their awakening is the unleashing of male devaluing evidence that their subconscious has stored all along. My friends, this battle is righteous. Males are not lesser value beings. Males are not expendable. Stand with me, live free.